Both writers, J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, are described as being very ambitious when it comes to Star Wars Episode 9 by applying tons of new ideas into this story that will conclude the Skywalker saga. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, what's really interesting about Episode 9 is that it will be tapping into prequel trilogy continuity as well as original trilogy stuff and EU and Legends material and a whole lot more. So that's the one thing that Episode 9 has going for it, is how massive of a movie it's going to be in, who knows how long it's really going to be, but it is going to be a film that has a lot of stuff inserted into it, which is honestly worrying some people out there on whether or not this movie may be too crowded or something around those lines. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc., one of which has all to do with Kylo Ren and Padme Amidala, as well as others. Specifically, a description of Kylo Ren walking on a bridge in complete darkness. In front of him is a doorway with light surrounding it. This may be the worlds between worlds, as seen in Star Wars Rebels Season 4. Coming out of the doorway is a figure, a woman, in the shadows, that is later revealed to be Padme Amidala, walking closer to Kylo Ren. Padme is in a black dress, walking closer to Kylo, eventually meeting face to face before she begins to vanish. We then see all members of Kylo's family walking toward him. Second, a hooded figure of Anakin Skywalker, then Luke, and finally both Han and Leia vanishing one after the other. The last goes over Kylo looking into the door and seeing a vision of Padme smiling at somebody, which is assumed to be Anakin Skywalker. So I really wanted to go over this because this honestly is getting me very excited. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams has actually had a lot of discussions with, of course, Dave Filoni. Now, Dave Filoni, in case you guys do not know him, he is the showrunner of course, the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Alright, he is the man who made it happen. And he is also the guy who introduced time travel in the Star Wars franchise. Whether you love it or hate it, it is a very interesting concept for sure, where we had Ezra Bridger saving Ahsoka Tano from Darth Vader, pulling her through that portal and saving her life. Now, it seems like this is a very similar sequence involving Kylo Ren, where he's walking on a bridge in a very dark environment. Now, we heard about this lightly before in the past, involving both Rey and Kylo as well. Now, it's to my belief that this is indeed the worlds between worlds, and there's a reason as to why I do believe this, is because the mention of doorways in this dimension, or wherever this reality is based in, right? Where he's actually able to meet Padme Amidala, as well as Padme meeting Kylo Ren face to face. Should be a very interesting scene if done in the finalized version of the movie. Now, this is also JJ and Chris Terrio's way of inserting a lot of cameos into the film in one big scene, and I honestly think it's a great idea. Now, one thing about Padme Amidala is that, well, I'm not quite sure how they're going to be able to incorporate the footage into a new scene that actually has all to do with Episode 9. Like I say, they could always use that new technology that they do have, where they're able to essentially cut and paste characters into new environments. Number one, they're doing this with General Leia, apparently, from the Last Jedi footage and the Force Awakens footage. So that's another thing to look forward to in this movie as well. Now, as far as Kylo Ren seeing, these visions of Padme Amidala, first things first, I think that this most definitely is a way of showing Kylo Ren who his grandmother really was before she died. This is going to give Kylo Ren better knowledge of his actual family tree, in which he is seeing before his eyes. He's able to see Anakin, he's able to see Luke Skywalker, his own uncle, and eventually his parents, both Han and Leia. Now, to me, it sounds like a very emotional scene because Kylo Ren is basically seeing the family that he has left behind. We do know that, yes, Anakin Skywalker turned to the dark, but he also returned, from the dark side to the light, and became Anakin once again just before his death in his son's arms. So, with that being said, I most definitely believe that this is going to be a lesson, a epiphany, if you will, for the character of Kylo, and it will change his ways and may just bring him on to that redemption arc that a lot of people are either hoping that this doesn't or does happen in Episode 9. And let's talk a little bit about a redemption arc quick. Do you guys actually want to see that in this movie? Is it a good idea for a man who killed his own father, in which he actually did not hate him, he just did it in order to eliminate any weaknesses out there? Do you think he deserves a redemption arc? I, however, am on the fence about this. I'm really not quite sure what to think about this. I want to say that he shouldn't deserve a redemption arc, but I kind of feel that he's going to get this in Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.